Hello and welcome back to We Met Behind the Castle. I'm your host, Logan Stump, and today is August 22nd. We are just about a week away from EPCOT's International Food and Wine Festival. So I thought I would jump on here and talk about what is coming. We've got some menus. We've got a lot of information about Emile's Fromage Montage, which is the cheese trek through food and wine. And this is easily my favorite time of year here in Orlando. So welcome to the show. Welcome back. I think we're now in episode 6 or 7. So this is the new rendition of the podcast. I did some podcasting way back when I started the channel, but I've gotten back into it and really trying to keep up with it. So we release episodes. Whoa, that was my cat going crazy. We release episodes every Friday, right around 7 a.m. So on your Friday commute to work, you can turn us on, plug us in. And on YouTube, I will drop these around 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. So if you are more of the visual learner and not so much the audio file, I guess, then you can tune into the YouTube channel. But yeah, I'm really excited about today's episode. This is one of my favorite times of year here in not only Walt Disney World, but Central Florida. With all of the fall festivities that go on, the weather starts to cool off a little bit here. We've actually had some really great weather as far as temperatures are concerned over the last week or so. We've had some serious storms here, though, but we're ramping up to food and wine. We've got Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Busch Gardens has Hallow Scream. SeaWorld has Hallow Scream. Universal's doing Halloween Horror Nights. We've got Halloween characters in SeaWorld as well. We've got a treat trek over in Busch Gardens and SeaWorld. So all sorts of fun things happening. We've got our local haunts. I think we're going to try to make our way down to Sir Henry's, which is a haunted trail. And they do 3 haunted trails down there. Our favorite local haunt is Sir Henry's. It's out here near Lakeland. And it's a lot of fun. But I mean, seriously, this is the best time of year to be in Central Florida. So if you're planning your trips, I would say end of August, beginning of September is really when you want to come down here. The weather is still warm in September, but it is definitely cooler than our hotter months of July and August. So if you're coming down, you can go to all these things and book kind of maybe a central location that you want to stay in, whether that be Walt Disney World or Universal Studios, around SeaWorld on International Drive, or like in the Davenport, Kissimmee area, maybe Winter Garden if you're up in that area. But again, this is definitely a time that you want to book your trip. And honestly, it's a little cheaper than most times a year. Once you get like towards November, it starts to get really busy around here in Central Florida. A lot of people traveling for vacation. But in September, I'd say it's perfect. September and October, if you can and you want to spend a little bit more money, October is the best time to come, I think, to Orlando nowadays because of all the things happening. But I will say the ticket prices do typically go up in October because you do have a lot of people coming to town for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Halloween Horror Nights. And October can be a very expensive time of year because you also have fall breaks for school. But yeah, welcome in. We're gonna do some food. We're gonna walk around the world, I guess, in our mind. We're gonna head out to Food and Wine Festival hopefully in the next week. It again does start next week on August 29th. That is a Thursday. So might try to go out there opening night. We have Halloween Horror Nights the following night. And I am off work on Friday, so maybe we'll try to head out there and do opening night. It's always very crazy on opening night. Pretty busy, but it is a Thursday, so maybe it's not going to be as crowded. But we'll go see. We'll see if we can get in there on on Thursday for the opening of Food and Wine. Maybe do like a live video on TikTok and go live from the EPCOT's International Food and Wine Festival presented by Corksicle. So let's jump into it. We're going to get into 10 things that I want to tell you about that I think are very important to your success and your happiness in the festival. 10 things you need to know to prepare for EPCOT's International Food and Wine Festival, because I think there's a lot of things that some of this is kind of, is going to be obvious to some. And then other things are going to be like, wait, what'd you say? There's definitely one on this list that I know a lot of people will go, what do you mean? What does that mean? So we're going to jump into 10 things you need to know to prepare yourself as you're planning to do EPCOT's Food and Wine Festival. So Let's start with number one. And this is something that I try to do in life, in the theme parks, on the podcast, everything else. We live in such a world where things go so fast, right? We're trying to move to our next big thing, right? Our next event, our next dinner, our next visit to the parks, whatever it might be. We're always trying to move really quickly, and I think that goes the same with food, and especially in the sense of if you eat fast, you're going to get full quickly, and that's not something you want at Epcot Food and Wine, right? Because there are so many dishes to try, there are so many drinks to try that you really, and this is number one, you really want to pace yourself, split dishes if you can, and get the bang for your buck. So that is number one. Ashley and I, this is what's great about having a partner in life is that um, not only is it great having a partner in life, but it's also great to have Ashley around when we are doing Epcot's International Food and Wine because we split dishes all the time. Like it's pretty much every single thing that we order. And we might order two or three things from a food booth where we split it, and I think it's one of the best things about having somebody to go with. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a family member, it's a partner. It's just so much easier because one, you can save money if you're going to split it financially. Two, if you're going to split them, you're not going to get as full, right? And these portion sizes, for the most part, are not ridiculous and they're not big. They're pretty. I mean, I wouldn't say they're small, but they're definitely more manageable, some of these portion sizes. But even splitting them, like if you order two or three things from the booth, I mean, you're getting your money's worth. You're getting a good fix of food, and you're filling your belly, and you're getting to enjoy so much more when you do this. And ultimately, I think pacing yourself means the same for food. It also means the same for drinks, right? You don't want to fill up on a bunch of beer or wine or whatever it might be. You want to pace yourself so you can enjoy the experiences of different booths because you might get boothed out. And your first three booths that you hit might be the first three that you enter the park in. And then you're full if you've ordered some things by yourself and you've not split them with friends. And then you're full and then you can't enjoy the rest of the festival, right? So, I mean, there's even been times where we've had a game plan, right? We're going to go in, we're going to hit Canada, we're going to go back to Japan, then we're going to hit Morocco, and then US, and then we're going to get all the way over here to like the Alps. And then all of a sudden, you're walking by booths and you see food or you smell the food coming out of different booths around World Showcase. And then you fill up on that where you didn't really have that as a game plan. And then you get full. And then you're done for the evening. So, again, I would just say go into it thinking, let's try to limit the amount of food so I can enjoy more food, if that makes sense. So that is definitely one thing that we try to do. Have a game plan to pace yourself and get as many dishes as possible by splitting it with however many people you're able to find to go to Food and Wine with. If you're going by yourself, I mean, you can try to get as much as you can possibly get. You hate to waste food, but if it comes down to that, like, I totally understand. If you're trying to get more food, then obviously it can be challenging to go by yourself and try to eat different dishes across all the booths. So it's easy to um, manage. I mean, splitting the food, it's easy to kind of cut in half, and different dishes are easy to split because there's usually like two or three different pieces of whatever it is that you're eating, which makes it a lot easier to split it with other groups. So, Epcot is a very peaceful place. Walking around the lagoon, taking your time, enjoying the food, enjoying the sights, enjoying the sounds. It not only adds to the ability to eat more or get more drinks or enjoy like the desserts, but it's so important to the festival, right? This festival is just more than the food booths and the things that you can drink there and the unique different items that they have on the menus. It's definitely about enjoying World Showcase Lagoon and the sights and the sounds. It's one of the best places to people watch. Food and Wine is the premier spot for social gatherings and interacting with your friends and taking family members to have them experience different dishes and cuisine around the world. You've got memories, you have different places that you might have visited that you're like, we've got to try this food and see if it's like what the food was like in Athens, Greece, or in Spain, or wherever it might be that you're trying these foods from the different food booths. So I think that's definitely something that you'll want to do. And as we get further into this episode, and we go through the list of 10 things, we're also going to get to a point where we talk about the food items that are coming. So this is not just a random list of 10 things, and then we're not going to talk about 2024's food. We will talk about the menus, but we will leave that for a little later. The passport is your best friend. This is number 2. Um, but plan ahead. So this is a passport. So if you are watching on YouTube, you can see it. This is 2021. It's got Remy on it. It's a festival fast passport. And as you flip through, you do have pictures of different food items. You have the menu items. They are in order. So once you locate the booth in which you are, they're in order as you walk around World Showcase Lagoon. If you're walking in the correct direction, and it just depends. Sometimes they've done it from, like it goes France, Brazil, Morocco. So like as you're moving from France into Morocco, it's like counterclockwise, and then sometimes they do it clockwise. It just depends on the year in which they do it. I think most of the time it's counterclockwise. So is that EPCOT people trying to tell us that you always start in Canada? Smart. Um, that's where I always start, right? Do you go right or do you go left in World Showcase Lagoon? We always tend to go right in this festival. I think mostly because it's easier to go right. It's more crowded going left in Mexico. Mexico always gets really clogged up right there by the pavilion. Whereas I always feel like if you go right, you've got a lot of room to kind of spread out because you've got different areas. You got the shimmering sips on the left-hand side. You've got the festival centers that are kind of sitting there in the gateway, international gateway area. And then you've got to the right-hand side is the Canadian booth, but it's pushed back far enough from the refreshment port that it doesn't all come together and converge on one area. It feels like it's got enough space in between everything to get around. So again, this is your best friend, the passport. You can get stamps if you get all of the stamps or a certain number. I think it's all the stamps. You get a completer. It's usually like a completer menu item. Sometimes they've done like completer, it's like a tray, like a plastic tray that's got like a place where it'll hold a cup and then a dish. So sometimes it's like one of those portable trays that you can carry around food and wine. But I think they've really gone to giving you like a dessert or some kind of celebratory food item if you complete the passport. Now, there's also going to be Emil's fromage montage, which we will talk about, and we'll talk about these a little later as well. But the passport, again, it's got now pictures of different food items from the booth themselves, which is great. They didn't used to have pictures in them. They used to just have a list of the menu items. Now they've started to put images of the different key or like the most I guess the most popular items that they expect to be the most popular items. They typically will put those or the most appealing looking items on the passport booklets, and you can see different things that you're going to get ahead of time before you actually get down to the booth. So definitely grab one of the passports. Right when you walk in on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, you'll see little stands that typically have the park maps. They'll also have the passport booklets. You can also get passport booklets at most of the booth locations. They should all have them. You can get them at all the merchandise places up by the registers. You can get them at the little festival centers that are kind of around World Showcase Lagoon. I think guest relations will have some. So they try to spread them out as many places as they can. I think the only places that really won't have them, obviously, are the restrooms and the attractions. Like I don't think I've ever seen these entrances of anything like that, but they'll definitely have them at merchandise. So if you stop into like Connections or one of the shops inside of the World Showcase, then they'll typically have them there. So look out for them. They're very cool. We've collected, I mean, I can kind of show you on the video, and we even have SeaWorlds because SeaWorld started doing these as well. But we've got like tons of them that we've kept from years past, and they're good little collector items. Like it's fun to kind of look back. Like I was just, we were literally just standing in here kind of talking about what we're going to do with the background behind me in the office. And I mean, this is Flower and Garden 2024. We've got Festival of the Holidays, and this is 2023. Like we've got ones from 2021, the one I just showed you, got Festival of the Arts. I think we've got more of them. I just don't know where they are because we don't really throw them away because we've started marking down. That's another thing with the passports. We've started writing down, or Ashley started writing down things like that she had gotten, things she liked. She would write comments as well. And actually, Ashley just sent me a text before we. It's funny because she was going through TikTok and she was looking at um, a TikTok that has an app that this lady found, Allie Mae on Maine from TikTok, found an app, and I will show you what it looks like. So if you're on the YouTube channel and you can see this, it is that one right there. It is called WDW Food and Wine. This is not a Disney official app, but it has a list of all of the food items for 2024. You can mark that it's on a wish list. You can mark that you had it. You can mark it as a favorite. You can do all sorts of things. And that got me thinking of all the different things that Disney could do like this. I know there were rumors of Disney adding in interactive things on their app, which I think would be really cool or even if they had to create another app. I think one thing that adults would love is if we could kind of give ourselves little tokens or mementos when we complete certain things. So if we're completing different food booths or rides, how many times have we ridden things? How many times have we seen this show? How many? I think people would like that. I really do. I think it would probably be an easy add to an app. I don't know anything about the back end of applications on phones, but I feel like I don't know. I just feel like it would be really cool. But anyway, that app, and those that were listening on, you can go on the App Store and find it. It's got 4.9 ratings. It's got tons of reviews. It's a really good app, and you can take pictures of your items that you eat. You can mark them as favorites. You can mark them as wish list or don't like them or comment about them. I think you can read other ratings. You can see what other people rate it. It is so cool. A really great idea, whoever the creator of that app is. But yeah, anyway, the reason kind of why I was talking about that is the passport is great, right? And if you're a local, or if you're here for a week and you're visiting a couple times, taking home one of these booklets is great because you can plan. But some people I know that listen or will see this and they'll say, I didn't even like, where can we find menus? So you can actually, like, I'm kind of showing you here. This is Walt Disney World's website for those that are on the YouTube channel. This is their actual website. There's also all sorts of other blogs that have the complete 2024 food and wine menus and the concert series. So if you just put into Google 2024 food and wine menus for Epcot, it'll pull something up, and you can go to the Disney Parks blog as well. And they will have the menus and visuals so you can see and kind of plan ahead. So that way you know what you're getting yourself into and what foods you want, what drinks you want. It's a great way to plan and also kind of eyeball and see how much you can handle, right? So how much food you can handle, how much drinks, that. I think how much you can eat, how much you can drink, and kind of judge, how many dishes can I probably fit into my time there, that I can enjoy myself and also get full, or not get completely full and have some room for dessert or whatever it might be. So definitely plan ahead if you're coming to Epcot's Food and Wine Festival, because again, it's very overwhelming. There's tons of items. There's tons of booths. They add new booths every year. You know what? I'm going to have to count to see how many booths we are up to this year. But I think I even saw a release and this happens every year. It says that we have the most food items and booths that we've ever had. So pretty interested to see how many we've got. That was number 2. Number 3, it is going to be hot. We just talked about how October is a great month to come. November is a really good time to come. So again, Epcot's Food and Wine Festival runs from August 29th to November 23rd. Runs all the way up to pretty much Thanksgiving this year. And I mean, if you can come during October, beginning of November, that is the best time to be in Central Florida for food and wine. So it is a little bit more pricey because you're getting closer and closer to different holidays. Obviously, the closer you get to that Thanksgiving week, that end of the week for Food and Wine, the more expensive tickets will be to get into the actual parks. And then each of these items are separately priced items. They're not included with your admission. You do have to purchase these items, and they'll roughly run from like $4.95 all the way up to, food items up to like $9 or $10. Sometimes just depends on what it is. The drinks too, they'll range from that, $5 to $6 all the way up to about 12 maybe would be the most. But again, I think it's important to realize that it is still going to be very warm. It can be very daunting to walk around and eat a ton of food and to have a bunch of drinks, and then also add in 95-degree weather with humidity or rain. It can get very overwhelming, very hot quickly. You can get very dehydrated. You can get full and feel very um, like heavy and bloated because you just feel like, oh my gosh, it's so hot and warm, and I've eaten all this food. And it's all warm food, and I just, that's the tough part with Food and Wine is that when you do go in August and September, you're still going to have those days where it's totally, totally hot and brutally, brutally humid. So, yeah, if you can come in October or November, highly recommend that. All the quick service restaurants around World Showcase will give you a cup of water with ice. I would bring a Brita bottle or like a filtered water bottle because Florida water is not the best. And they typically will get it out of the fountain or the sink. Like they'll fill a lot of it in the sink in some of those places. So it's not the best water, but I mean, if you're not too picky and you just want water to get water, then that's fine. They also sell drinks. I think they sell like Powerades and stuff like that inside the stores. Sometimes at the booth, they'll have different like drinks like that. They'll have sodas, and then they'll have bottled water like Dasani water and Smart Water. So just keep that in mind. Stay hydrated. Again, this is not the time to play around with that. It's very hot out. It catches up to you very quickly. You might not feel that it's coming on, but then once you get halfway around, you're like, oh my gosh, like I had some drinks and now I've had a bunch of food and my mouth's dry. I mean, I've got, I'm dehydrated. I don't feel good. I've got a headache. And that's when all the problems start. So stay hydrated. Those are good places. Those are good ideas is to, kind of go in those quick service restaurants to go get some water. There are a lot of great indoor seating opportunities around World Showcase Lagoon. So I've got a couple that I've listed, and then also in like that main plaza area, kind of that discovery area that is now like where Communicore and Connections and all them are. So here are a couple that I would recommend. You have Communicore Hall, which is the new festival center right there in that plaza. Almost, it's over by Living with the Land and the lands in that area, the land pavilion. So it's kind of backed up to it. That's a great spot to go. Communicore Hall. It's going to be air conditioning and indoors. And then they do have some outdoor seating in shaded areas that you can go and enjoy. Odyssey Center is going to be the building that sits on kind of like back behind, like I wouldn't say back behind, like in front of where Mexico's pavilion is. It's kind of like that. You have the bridge over to World Showcase Lagoon on the left-hand side over by Test Track. You'll see like a building sitting there. And the building is very unassuming. Like it'll have some banners on it, but it is very unassuming. There is a festival booth in there, and it usually is one of the most popular. It's usually the wings that are in there in the Odyssey Center. And the Odyssey Center has a ton of tables usually, or if you really want, you can sit on the ground in there. They don't really mind. It's not comfortable and it can get very crowded in there and you'll be stepped over. But if you really just need a break from the sun or you really want to go and enjoy food in there, they usually have tabletops too that you can stand at or sit. So that's a really good place to go. Last year it was themed after the Muppets, I want to say, which was a lot of fun to look at. So needed some water. Sorry. Yeah, it's a really good place to sit at and enjoy your food. Morocco, that's a really good spot. They have covered seating outside. They also have some seating inside of the actual where you go to get your food in the food booth. Their food booth is indoors. It's one of the. It used to be the Tangerine Cafe. I think it still is called Tangerine Cafe, but it's no longer used for that. It's used for these festivals, and you can go in, grab them, and there's like four or five little tables in there. There's like a couple booths to kind of sit there, but their outdoor seating is shaded very well. So that's always a good spot. We like to hang out even when it's hot, at least it's shaded. And it's a great place to watch people because it's like it's outside in the Moroccan pavilion. They're passing by going through like to Japan and the America pavilion. So definitely recommend that. Morocco, or I guess it would be France and Japan. Yeah, France and Japan. Um, where else? Norway. In Norway, they've got some really good seating outside of the little um, bakery that's there. I can't remember exactly what the bakery is called at this time, but they do have some good seating there. And then there's some good seating out by the water. So like all around World Showcase Lagoon, there's our seats and tables typically, or like in weird little spots. There's some in Germany that sit by the water. Anywhere you can get closer to the body of water, it does tend to cool it down a little bit if you're seated in one of those spots. Japan has really good areas up by like their quick service. Like if you go up above, there's like a rock formation almost up behind where like the little bar is. There's like a little bar that sits in front of their pavilion. That's a really good spot. They also have benches back there. There'll be like a festival booth. So straight across from their festival booth, there's going to be like seating back there. And that can be really nice because it's very shaded. America has really good shaded seats outdoors. I've seen some people go into Regal Eagle and eat their food and wine stuff. They've got outdoor seating outside of Regal Eagle, which is their little barbecue place. But on the right hand side, next to their booth, they have seating that is covered, and it is very nice. And again, back there, you can listen to the music from Eats the Beat concert series. You don't even have to go into the actual seating to hear it. It's going to be loud anyway, and you're kind of sitting right there. That's a beautiful little spot. And they've got benches there as well to sit at, and the little walls around the fountains, like the water fountains, you can sit on those and eat your food, which we've done that a ton of times. So, and then last, the UK. The UK's got really good seating out by the fish shop. So where you get the fish and chips, fish and chips. That was hard to say. You can sit out there by the water, and it's pretty shaded as well. So that's a good spot. And then back behind the UK pavilion, they've got like where the rock band plays. It's like Queen cover albums that they do, or Queen cover. And they do a lot of rock band stuff back there. They've got a band that plays. That's a really good spot back there as well. It's away from the crowd, but it is a nice little area to kind of sit. You can sit on the curbs there. They've got some benches back there as well. So that's a good spot to sit and hang out. But again, like I said, take time, take a break. This is kind of part of pacing yourself a little bit, which was number one. Again, number three, it's going to be hot. So that's it for number three. Number four, trash can tables. You will see, and there are T-shirts that exist. There are sayings that exist. There are groups of friends that will eat at trash cans. And I know this sounds disgusting, but sometimes you just don't have the option to sit at a table. And Ashley and I, and many of others, you can ask all of your friends that go to Disney World often. They are more than likely going to tell you, especially if they're locals or cast members or whatever they might be, that they've visited a ton, that they've eaten a nice food and wine dish or have had a nice beverage over a shared trash can, one of the Disney trash cans. I will say they are very clean. The trash cans, the top of them, the cast members do a wonderful job there of keeping that park very clean. And I'm not going to lie to you. And most people, if they're telling you, if they're locals or they're cast members, they said they've never eaten off a trash can. They might be telling you a little bit of a fib. I've seen many of our friends eat off trash cans. And I know that sounds weird, but it's going to happen. So if you are okay with that, and again, they all come on plates. They all, come in plastic cups and stuff like that. So it's not really like you're eating off the trash can, but hovering around the trash can, kind of out of the way where people can still throw their trash away. Nobody really goes near a garbage can. So it's all, again, we've done it a couple times, probably more than we should, but you know what? It's not getting on the trash can. It's coming right out of the little plate. It's a nice flat surface. People aren't typically going to bother you there and try to crowd the space. Like it ends up serving a good purpose. So again, and a theme parks, I mean, everybody's touching tables anyway, and the tables might even be more dirty than the top of trash cans. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, trash can tables, if you see them, definitely take advantage of them. The trash cans are everywhere, and they are nice spots to sit and enjoy a nice meal. So, weekdays if you can. Number 5, weekdays if you can. Again, like I said, opening day is on a Thursday, so it might not be as crowded, but Friday opening weekend and Saturday, they're going to be very, very busy. Food and wine runs every single day. It's different than some of the food and wine festivals in other parks because it does run every single day, or any of these events really. Disney does them, um, at least at Epcot, they do them every single day. So this is a this is probably the best tip that I think I can give you, aside from maybe one other one that I'm looking at. Um, yeah, weekdays if you can, because again, people are the locals are not there, and this is a very local heavy festival. Any of these Epcot festivals are very local heavy, so the annual pass holders, also any of the Floridians that come up, a lot of people will come up from different areas around Florida, especially Central Florida, to enjoy Epcot Food and Wine because of the musical performances, because this has been one of the most popular festivals that's ever been at Epcot. So people will come from all over to enjoy it, and usually come up on like a Friday. So, it's great. Get off work early on Friday, you head up here, you're here by Friday night around most places in Florida. You're here on Friday night, enjoy it Saturday, head back Sunday or whatever you might want to do. Head up Saturday for a Saturday night evening at Epcot, and then head back Sunday or head back that night. So again, weekends are crazy busy at Epcot Food and Wine Festival. Weekdays, I mean, there's been times where we've gone during the weekdays on like a Tuesday or Wednesday, and it's basically a walk right up to the booth and get your food. I mean, it can be very, very peaceful at Epcot on a weekday. So it's changed a lot now. Disney's always busy now. There's not really a dead time like there used to be. But if you can come on the weekdays for Epcot Food and Wine or any of the theme parks, you're going to see less crowds because of the locals. Number 6, gift card wristband. So the gift card wristband is going to be, it's one of those, I forget what they're called, but they're like the real stretchy wristbands. They're plastic, but they stretch real well. And it's like a keychain, like where you would put a key. Teachers used to wear them, these wristbands, but on the wristband itself is a small little circular disc, and on the back of it is a QR code, so it's a gift card. And the Epcot festival booths, when you walk up to them, the cast members will just scan it, and it works just like a gift card. So the cast members in merchandise shops will load them, and then you will go to the booth. So go to the merchandise shops first, grab the wristbands, buy them there. You can't buy them at the booths, but you can buy them in the merchandise locations around Epcot, and I think most of them will have them for the festival. Or you can just buy a regular gift card, however you want to do this. But the reason why I say the wristband gift card is because it is so annoying to have to dig out your wallet or your credit card every time you're going to one of these booths, because it's happening very frequently. You're probably every 20 minutes you have the credit card in and out, right? There's a really good chance you lose them. Fun story, and it wasn't even the credit card, it was the cell phone. Ashley left a cell phone at one of the food and wine booths. Luckily I have her we have each other on the GPS thing for that reason, in case we lose our phones. And she left it at like the Japan pavilion, and we were like halfway across the lagoon, and we were like, oh crap, where's your phone? She's like, I think I left it somewhere at one of the booths. And so naturally I looked at it, and it's like, oh, it was still sitting in the Japan pavilion in their food booth. So luckily we found it. So that's another thing. If you're here on vacation, turn on the little GPS trackers, the locators on your phones, because it can help tremendously, because people lose their phones all the time at Walt Disney World. So but yeah, the gift card wristband, it would be so easy to put down your credit card on a table or put it into your pocket, and then once you take out something, it falls out of your pocket and onto the ground. We've seen that happen a ton. Having to reach back into your back pocket to get the wallet out and jiggle the thing loose and then get it back out and put it back in the thing. There's so many different things that could go wrong with that. It's just easier get the gift card loaded up with like 50, $100, walk around World Showcase Lagoon, just wear it on your wristband. You don't have to worry about losing it or setting it down. You just scan it, you just raise it up, have them flip it around, have them scan it, and then boom, you're on your way. You got your meal or you got your drink and you're ready to go. So very convenient. Definitely recommend getting it. Number 7, exclusive merchandise. The reason why I put this on the list, right? I want to prepare you for the fact that, and this is the case with any Disney event. If you see merchandise that you really like, and you either see it online or you see it in stores, and people are like, well, duh, it's obvious. But like Disney, it's even worse. If you see something you like at Disney, buy it. Like then and there, if you have the means to do it, if you have the money to do it, buy the item. Because if you're like, I'll wait till Saturday to buy it and it's Thursday, and you come back in Saturday, it's gone. Especially with these events, because they don't make a ton of this stuff like this merch. Um, then you won't see it again. Like I know this has been the case with like Spirit jerseys, headbands, pins, anything like that. That's kind of like a collector's item, or clothing that people really like, or popcorn buckets that are very specific to some of these events. You got to get them as quickly as possible because people will buy them, and unfortunately, people will buy them in bulk, and try to resell them. So if you see something you like, and this is something Ashley and I quickly figured out, living here and being able to purchase more things, is how quickly things run out. And if you don't buy them right away, that you might not see it again. And if you're okay with that, it's fine. But like, there's been things that I've missed out on that I wish I bought, that I came back to the store and it wasn't there anymore. And then now it's on eBay for $150 when it was originally like 20. So that's just my advice to you. Exclusive merchandise at any of the events, especially food and wine or flower and garden. If you see something you like and you have the means to do it, definitely buy it. Number 8. So this one we'll talk a little bit more about, and you'll see what I mean by that. Because again, this is 10 things to prepare you for food and wine in 2024. Number 8, try something new. So uh, food and wine always has something that I've never had before. Whether that be like, it might be variations of things I've had before, but definitely different than anything I've ever had before. So, and I'll let you know what that means once we get into something else. But honestly, number 10 is what I'm talking about. So again, I think if you're adventurous, and I think you would have to be somewhat adventurous for this food festival. If you so, okay, let's say you're a picky eater, you can find things in food and wine that you will enjoy. There are your classic style dishes that you will just enjoy, right? But there are a lot of things on there that are very different, um, different flavors that you might not be used to, especially in other, you can pick Italy. I would say you can pick Germany, Ireland, um, Polynesian, seafood, American. I would say those are pretty safe. But once you like, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the list on my computer. But once you get in like the African flavors or like the Asian flavors, the Asian booths, or Greek, or Moroccan, especially Japanese, and the Japanese and Chinese booths are definitely a challenge for picky eaters. Because they do flavors that you just don't that you're not used to, because it is very authentic too. And so there's obviously some that are just variations, and people that are come from these countries go, that didn't taste like anything like what we have. But they try their best to infuse flavors that are very authentic and different to what. So like Chinese food at Epcot is going to taste a whole lot different than your mom and pop shop next to your house in New Jersey. So if you are an adventurous eater, try something new, because this, honestly, I was a very picky eater all the way up through my first college program. Like, I stuck to basically Italian, American, Japanese, Chinese, and that was it. Like, I didn't really venture outside of that. Once I got to Epcot, so I'm not even joking. Once I got into Epcot in 2013 and made my way around the booths, especially 2015, I experienced so much different, so many different flavors and so many different things that I've never had before or even thought of trying. But it was part of the experience of, food and wine was to try something different, and I had been watching, like, Lou Mangello. So Lou Mangello, if you don't follow him, he's my favorite, um, Disney podcaster. He he would take, a video, he would do lives, or he would also do podcasts, and I was big time into listening to podcasts. I'd study and then listen to Lou in college, and it got me through a lot of nights because, like, he would go through Epcot and seriously, like, record the whole night and try different foods, and I was like, "That just sounds fun." So, it really did. It inspired me to try different things that I've never tried before, and Epcot is the reason why. So that's why I say number 8 is try something new. Step out of your comfort zone and at least just try it. If you don't like it, I mean, it's not the biggest way, like, $4 to $8 is usually what the dishes are. It's a good place to kind of get your feet wet because it's not $30 to buy it and then go, "Oh gosh, that was awful." It's very manageable, the price. They're smaller portions, so if you don't like it, it's not the biggest waste of food. But if you do like it, you can buy more of it, or that becomes something that you like now. So I definitely say try something new. Epcot is a great place to do that. Number 9, and these next 2 are going to be big. Number 9 is the Eat to the Beat concert series. Sorry, I had a drink of water. I need a co-host. So if you're interested in co-hosting this with me, then I am open to, any kind of host or co-host wanting to join me, because it is very difficult to do a podcast by yourself without drinking some water and taking these awkward breaks. But, um, yeah, E to the Beat concert series. So this is a concert series that happens in the American Gardens Theater, which is the American Pavilion. It is a gorgeous theater. Sits on the water. Sits on the World Showcase Lagoon. It is. I mean, seriously, it's one of my favorite places to visit. And every time I go back there, I'm just so happy. And Epcot does a great job of bringing back artists that have not really faded, but like, I guess almost in a way retired, like, I guess would be the best way to put that. But like it's so many people from like the 80s, the 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s that come back to play, right? It's kind of like they're like a little smaller like reunion tour or smaller, get together to get back into it and enjoy, being out there in front of the fans. And I'm gonna read you, um, I will read you the Eats the Beat concert series, because again, you'll see what I mean when I talk about Eat to the Beat, because, um, you will hear names that you have heard before that were very popular in certain time periods. Not time. It makes you sound really old. Different. Yeah, like different decades, I guess. 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Like you still have a lot of those artists still playing. And I'm trying to pull up the Eats the Beat concert series presented by Florida Blue. It starts August 30th, and these performances are typically around the weekend. You will have some that are on Monday and Friday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, maybe. It really just depends, and you need to check the schedules for these. These don't have the days next to them, so I'm just going to read out the dates. I'm assuming they're going to be probably Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know what? Let me just check. Okay. Okay. The 29th is the Finesse Party Band. I don't know who they are. The Fray is coming. I think they're How to Save Your Life, I believe it is. Um, the Fray is coming on August 30th and 31st. On September 1st and September 2nd, is Sugar Ray. You have the Finesse Party Band. So I'm guessing this is like local bands, is the Finesse Party Band. September 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Hoobastank is coming September 6th and 7th. Yellow Card is making their debut at Epcot, September 8th and 9th. They actually have a song on the new album that's coming out. So there's like a rock and roll punk Disney album coming out in September. And I think it's right before this. I think it's like the 6th. So Yellow Card actually has, you know what? I have the song list right here on my phone. Let me see. They are So I'm assuming they're going to debut this new song, which almost makes me want to 8th and 9th. That makes me want to go, because they will. They'll debut this song that's going to be on this Disney album, and I think this is brilliant. So I'm assuming they're probably going to do different genres like this and other things. So again, this is it's called A Whole New Sound, and it's more of that punk and rock, very alternative music, I guess you can say. These bands, and they do different songs, so it's got like the '90s and 2000s like twist on it, flair, that kind of music. But Yellow Card, again, like I said, is coming on the 8th and 9th, and they will probably sing. So they actually got A Whole New World from Aladdin. So that is the song that they did on this new album. And some of those people are Mayday Parade, Simple Plan, Magnolia Park, We the Kings, Plain White Tees, Boys Like Girls, Tokyo Hotel, Meet Me at the Altar, Lolo, Bowling for Soup, Newfound Glory. Those are the kind of bands that are on this new album. And I want to say one of the other ones is coming, but I can't remember. I think it's Simple Plan. No, not Simple Plan. I forget who it is. There's another band that I think's coming that is also on this new alternative album. And again, I think Yellow Card is going to sing it at Eat to the Beat concert series. And these are just like your normal concerts. These will be in the Americans Garden Theater back in the American Pavilion. So if you want to check them out, that is where they are going to be located. And they have different times in which they do these concert series. So 5:30, 6:45, and 8 p.m. If you go to the 6:45 or 8 p.m., you're going to see, if you're getting in line, and typically they say get in line for like an hour and a half before. It just depends on the popularity of the band. But you'll hear them before you see them. But a lot of people don't mind. They like that because then they get to see them and hear them twice. So it's very nice. It's great that Disney does this. But yeah, back to the list. The Hooligans on September 10th, 11th, and 12th. Tiffany is on September 13th and 14th. Mercy Me, September 15th and 16th. Foreigner's Journey, September 17th, 18th, and 19th. Sheila E. is going to be September 20th and 21st. The Wanted, September 22nd and 23rd. Deanne Diaz, or Diane? Is it Deanne? Deanne? It's Dian. How do you pronounce that? Diane or Deanne? September 24th, 25th, and 26th. Luis Figueroa is going to be September 27th. Maui, and Ricky. Iriki. I don't know how to say that. Is going to be September 28th and 29th. Jesse and Joy on September 30th. And then October is going to be Latin Ambition on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of October. Aloe Black is coming on October 4th and 5th. Joey Fatone and Friends will be October 6th and 7th. And we already have our Eat to the Beat concert dining package already booked. So Ashley and I are going to go. What is that? Garden Grill. We're going to Garden Grill and then going to Joey Fatone and Friends. And we'll talk about what the dining package is here in a bit. Funkified is October 8th, 9th, and 10th. We the Kings, 11th and 12th. There's We the Kings. They will have a song as well from that new album. Switchfoot, October 13th and 14th. Gilly and the Girl Band, October 15th, 16th, and 17th. David Archuleta, that's going to be a very popular one, October 18th and 19th. Billy Ocean, October 20th and 21st. Hayfire, October 23rd and 24th. Hanson is 4 nights, and they're very popular. They are extremely hard to get into, and so is NSYNC. Well, Joey Fatone and Friends. Last year it was Chris Kirkpatrick and Lance was there one night, and that's the first time I think Lance has ever done it. Hanson is October 25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th. Evolution Motown, 29th, 30th, and 31st. And then in November, you've got Haley Reinhart featuring Casey Abrams, Janelle Parrish, and Justin Lee Schultz, November 1st and 2nd. Boys to Men, November 3rd and 4th. Sugar Vibe, November 5th, 6th, and 7th. Magic, November 8th and 9th. Parmalee, November 10th and 11th. The M80s, November 12th, 13th, and 14th. Smash Mouth, November 15th and 16th. And then 98 Degrees on November 17th and 18th. It looks like I think that's all the 98 Degrees guys, right? There's 4 of them. Um, so Smash Mouth, I don't think he's been back since their lead singer passed. So, but we used to go see Smash Mouth a bunch. All right, Eat to the Beat dining packages. So, what Eat to the Beat dining packages are? Let me read what Disney has on their website. Fabulous food and great music go hand in hand. Festival goers can enjoy the best of both worlds by booking an Eat to the Beat dining package, which includes a meal at participating restaurants. It includes Spice Road Table and other participating restaurants. So Disney will have them actually listed, but I'm going to list them out for you. I'm not going to go through. I guess I'll go through the prices. There's not that many. Here are the ones that do offer a dining package. Now, some of these are already booked, especially on the most popular nights. So if you're going to book one, book them now. They are selling out fast, and they usually have them for I think all or most of the artists that are doing Eat to the Beat. So you got Akershus in Norway for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So you can do that. And then you get premium seating. So you get let into a section that is for just Eat to the Beat and it's up near the stage. So you have to be there on time, but you check in at Eat to the Beat, you show them your ticket that the person will give you at the restaurant. So the restaurant will give you a ticket. You take that ticket, you give them to the people at EPCOT. They're on the left hand side up near like where the Japan, like it's America going into Japan. They usually stand on that bridge up there on the left hand side of the Garden Theater if you're facing the Garden Theater. And you can hand them that ticket and you get into one of the front sections to see your favorite artist or whoever your artist is that you're trying to see. So yeah, the Akershus, which is the character meet and greet, Princess America character meet and greet in Norway. Breakfast is $72 for an adult, $84 for lunch and dinner, $42 for a child, $50 for lunch and dinner for a child. Beer Garden, which is the German Pavilions Buffet, really good restaurant, great entertainment. So you can go from that entertainment to another different type of entertainment. Adults, $66, child, $34. And that looks like it's just dinner. So Coral Reef, the Living Seas, $73 for an adult, $29 for child. And then you've got Garden Grill, which is what Ashley and I are doing. The breakfast is going to be $64 for adults and $79 for lunch and dinner. And then the child is going to be $37 for breakfast and $47 for lunch and dinner. Les Cellier and the Canadian Pavilion, the steakhouse, $99 an adult, $39 a child. Regal Eagle, craft beers and barbecue, $36 for adults and 21 for children. Same day dining packages only, so you can usually do same day dining for that. You can book those on the app with Regal Eagle, and those are easier to get. So if you're looking to get into that seating area and you want to do it day of and you forgot to book one of the other ones, Regal Eagle typically will have some options available. Rose and Crown Dining Room, which is in the UK, $61 an adult, $26 for a child. And then Spice Road Table is going to be the Rockham Pavilion restaurant, $56 for an adult, $21 for a child. Prices listed above do not include tax or gratuity. Um, Book it now. If you want to do it, book it now because most of them will sell out and sell out pretty darn quickly. So, um, again, like I said, we've done this before with Joey Fatone, where we bought dining packages, and you get to enjoy their menu. Usually, I think there's a menu that's fixed for it, or like you get family style dining kind of thing with it as part of the dining. Like they'll tell you what's part of the dining package on the or like the menu items. Um, and you usually get a dessert too, I believe. So it's good. I think it's a 3-course meal. But it's the best thing to do. It's more expensive, but you get really good seating for and your promised seating. So the other thing about Eat to the Beat concert series is if you're not in line um enough time before they kind of cut off seating, you could not you could possibly not get any seating in the American Garden Theater. Depends on who the artist is. The more popular the artist was, the more difficult it's going to be, obviously, to get seating. So again, like guys like Joey Fatone, 98 Degrees, Smash Mouth, those kind of bands, those are more difficult because they had a bigger fan base. So you will know how popular your artist was. If they were very popular, then an hour and a half, I'd say, before the show starts. You try to get in line, because again, it fills up fast. That theater fills up fast, even though it looks pretty big. So, because you don't calculate in how many people are doing the dining package, and when you do the dining package, you're guaranteed seating inside of the theater. So, as long as you're on time, but yeah, a dining package, highly recommend it, especially if you want great seats to see your favorite bands. It is awesome. We've met, well, Ashley has met Joey Fatone and Chris um, after their performances, because they have a moment where you can meet them. And she's gotten to meet both of them. So that was cool. And she's got pictures with both of them. So we will be back doing that again this year. Um, all right. That was number 9. Eats the Bee concert series. Definitely worth the price. Let's get into number 10. And last but certainly not least, the 10th thing that I can help you to prepare for Epcot's Food and Wine, which runs from August 29th to November 23rd, it's going to be the food guide. And so we're going to read off the menus. Um, Emil's Fromage Montage is going to be the completer series that you'll get. So you'll get little stamps. So you need to buy these cheese dishes, and you get Emil's Fromage Montage. And I think you get a cheesecake and like a little souvenir at the end when you complete the Emil's um, Fromage Montage, which is just like eating different cheese based dishes. Um, Let me pull up. I have a list first of the Emil's menu. So this is just the challenge. This is not the full Epcot Food and Wine, obviously, menu. So let me read you what is on this this cheese trek that you'll be making across the World Showcase. Traditional mac and cheese with herbed panko at Macketizers. This is a brand new booth. It's a full mac and cheese booth. I'm so excited. Cheesesteak macaroni and cheese with shaved beef, peppers, and onions and breadcrumbs. And then you have a truffle macaroni and cheese. And then you have an impossible chili macaroni and cheese with sour cream and cheddar. I might try that. That looks very good. Um, Festival favorites, new food booth. It's going to be in the new Communicore area. So there's like a little window that they do rotational festival favorites. So like it's all year round. You can get different food items from different festivals, and they rotate the menu quite often. But at Food and Wine, they're going to have barbecue pork rinds served with pimento cheese. That sounds real good. That's the cheese item. The Alps will have a warm raclette Swiss cheese with alpine ham, baby potatoes, cornichons, and baguette, and then a warm raclette Swiss cheese with baby potatoes, cornichons. I don't know is that how you say that, cornichons, and baguette. Germany. Not even try to pronounce that. It's a it's a Schickeninkenden, and some pasta gratin with ham, onions, and cheese. I've tried to read the French ones and German ones. It does not go well for me. Spanish charcuterie's got jamon manchego and pan con tomate. Greece has the griddled cheese with pistachios and honey. Brazil has a pão de queijo, is a Brazilian cheese bread. Hawaii is going to have a passion fruit cheesecake with toasted macadamia nuts. Mill and Mold is going to have a Borson fig and balsamic cheesecake with fig jam and pomegranate. And then Forest and Field is going to have a pumpkin mascarpone ravioli with sage brown butter, pecorino cheese, and hazelnut praline. So those are the cheese items that you can get that will complete the Emil's Fromage Montage. And again, once you complete that, you typically get like a little dessert and like a little souvenir. I want to say it's a souvenir cup or a plate usually. And you get to keep it. And it's pretty cool. So definitely do Emil's if you want a little challenge and you love cheese, especially if you love cheese. So that's what it's all about. All right. Epcot Food and Wine. We are going to get into each of the menus. I'm going to read these off. And I'm going to actually scroll for those that are looking at the visuals here on YouTube. So this first booth is called Macatizers, and this is in Communicore Hall. So this is in the brand new hall, the indoor area that they've built as part of the expansion for Epcot. The food there is going to be a traditional mac and cheese with herb panko. So that's, again, these are all Emil's fromage montage that we just read. A cheese stick macaroni and cheese with shaved beef, peppers, onions, and bread crumbs. Truffle mac and cheese, impossible chili cheese macaroni and cheese with sour cream and cheddar. Beverages are going to include a Crooked Can Brewing Company Vinifera Velvet Lager from Winter Garden, Florida. Southern Tier Brewing Company Raspberry Shine Summer Wheat Ale. You have a Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company Kentucky Pumpkin Bourbon Barrel Ale. Some of these are a mouthful. Terrazas de los Andes Reserva Chardonnay. So sorry if I butcher some of this stuff. Clinker Brick Bricks and Roses Rosé. That, are you kidding me? Beringer Bros Bourbon Barrel Aged Cabernet Sauvignon, which is from California. Knightsbridge Sauvignon Blanc. You have a Camus 50th anniversary Cabernet Sauvignon, and you have a Saint Superi Domaine de Rose, which is from France. I don't know what that is. Beer and wine flights. All right. Yeah, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a challenge to say some of this stuff. Up next is going to be Festival Favorites. This is, again, in Communicore Hall, but it's outdoors. I don't know if they're going to put them indoors and then use that window as well. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how they're going to use Communicore Hall. We're going to find out. This is the first festival that we've had Communicore Hall, so I don't know how they're planning on utilizing that space, but it was the big topic of discussion because it was very minimalistic when they opened it, but they said it was because when the festivals come, that's when it's going to take its character. So I guess we'll see. Festival favorites in Communicore Hall. You have food, kielbasa and potato pierogies with caramelized onions and sour cream, barbecue pork rinds served with pimento cheese, and a key lime tart. Beverages, frozen s'mores, chocolate milkshake with marshmallow syrup topped with mini marshmallows and a graham cracker. Irish milkshake, Guinness Stout, Bailey's Original Irish Cream Liqueur, and vanilla ice cream. Schaffenhofer Grapefruit Hefeweizen, which is the one that you can get in the Germany Pavilion. Parish Brewing Company sips Cab Franc Strawberry. I don't know what that is. Three Daughters Brewing, Beach Blonde Ale. And then they have a beer flight, which is going to be those beers that I think I just listed above. So typically the beer flight is the beers that are included just above, and there usually are three. Goldschmidt Catherine Cabernet Sauvignon, and then a Martin Ray Chardonnay from Sonoma Coast, California. So a lot of California wines at this festival, which, I mean, that's pretty obvious because, it's got the valley over there and grapes. Coastal Eats, which is going to be near Mission Space. This is another booth. Food, roasted warm water lobster tail with garlic butter, and then jumbo shrimp cocktail with cocktail sauce. Beverages, Wildly Brute Sous Vide, Boyd and Blair pomegranate cotter, and then a corksicle stemless flute, which you usually buy those drinks in the corksicle stemless flute, or it's served with champagne, I believe, actually. The Fry Basket is returning, and that is near the refreshment station, hosted by Coca-Cola, and this is by Test Track. Adobo yuca fries with garlic cilantro aioli. You have a fry flight, truffle parmesan fries, barbecue bacon fries with smoked aioli, sweet potato casserole fries with candied pecans, toasted marshmallow cream, and bourbon maple syrup. Beverages, Collective Arts Brewing, mango Rita sour with chili, and the Boyd and Blair grapefruit mule. That's different. I don't think I've seen that. That sounds good. I like mules. I don't really like grapefruit, but mules are good. Flavors from Fire. This is right near the refreshment port as well, but it's typically on the other side of the refreshment port, like as you're walking towards World Showcase in the Odyssey building. And Impossible Montreal style burger slider with cheddar and tomato jam on a sesame seed bun. Their Impossible burgers at Epcot's Food and Wine are top notch. Definitely get them. Steakhouse blended burger, beef and wild mushroom slider with truffle, brie cheese fondue, arugula, and truffle potato chips on a sesame seed bun. I had that last year. It was really good. Smoked corned beef with house-made potato chips, cheese curds, pickled onions, and beer cheese fondue. I wasn't a big fan of that one. I like the burger a lot. Beverages, Dushoots, brewery black Butte porter. You have Four Virtues bourbon barrel Zinfandel, and then you have a swine brine, which is Jim Beam bourbon, apple cinnamon cider, lemon juice, and Dijon mustard. That's a fancy looking. That's fancy. A swine brine. That's a fun name too. Oh, pickle milkshake. Brewing Lab at the Odyssey. So this is the really popular one that's in the Odyssey building that we were just talking about. The food, unnecessarily spicy yet extremely tasty. Carolina Reaper pepper curry wings with creamy cucumber. Rita. These are new. They usually do like a really spicy one. I think last year was ghost pepper. Was ghost pepper last year? I don't know, but the Reaper, that's a really, really spicy pepper. I love the name of it too. All right. Traditional buffalo wings, very good. Peanut butter and jelly wings, those are definitely strange, but I enjoyed them. Garlic parmesan wings, impossible buffalo chicken tenders with blue cheese, celery, and ranch, and then fried pickle spears with dill ranch. They were really good last year. The fried pickle spears, they actually moved them. I think they used to be with the fries, from what I remember. Beverages, Coppertail Brewing smoked lager from Tampa. Keel Farms Elderberry Serrano Hard Cider from Plant City, Florida. Three Daughters Brewing Pickle Hard Cider. Ashley cannot wait for that one. St. Petersburg, Florida. The brewery, Desert Flora with hibiscus and prickly pear. Interesting. Cigar City Peach White Oak Jai Alai. Frozen pomegranate and raspberry tea. And then a pickle milkshake. I mean, if you're on the video version, you saw the pickle milkshake. We tried the pickle milkshake. It tasted like a pickle. It was very strange. We won't be doing it again. Ashley did not really care much for it. It was very odd. It was the consistency was a milkshake. The flavor was a pickle. It was very dill. It was very strange. If you haven't tried it and you want to, I would recommend doing it at least once. It's an experience. The Noodle Exchange is the next booth near Disney Traders. You got food, ramen with shaved beef, shiitake mushrooms, pickled carrots, and daikon radish, shaved spicy peppers, and a soy egg, and a citrus sesame broth. Thai shrimp with rice noodles, shiitake mushrooms, and basil and coconut curry broth. Then you got ramen with tofu, shiitake mushrooms, pickled carrots, and daikon radish, shaved spicy peppers, and baby bok choy and citrus sesame broth as well. Beverages, Parish Brewing Company, strawberry mochi. That sounds good. And then Pacific Rim Solstice Vineyard Old Vine Riesling. Australia, near Disney Traders, is going to have grilled bushberry spiced shrimp skewer with sweet and sour vegetables and coconut chili sauce. That is new. Roasted lamb chop with mint pesto and crushed salt and vinegar potato chips. A lamington, which is a yellow cake with raspberry filling with chocolate and coconut. That is a favorite, I know, because I know a lot of people take pictures of it. Beverages, Bulletin Place Sauvignon Blanc, Foles Wine Farm to Table Shiraz, a Yalumba, the Y Series, the Viogner, I don't know how to say that, and then a Wine Flight. I don't know, Viognier, Viognier. I don't know what that is. It sounds like wine. Mexico World Showcase. Their booth is going to have tostada de camarones, which is tempura battered shrimp atop a fried corn tortilla with guacamole, cabbage, chipotle chipotle, aioli, diced mango, and chili lime powder. That's new. That sounds really good. And actually, the picture looks really good. Um, if you're on the video version, you can see it. But flauta de barbacoa, fried tortillas filled with barbecue beef, topped with salsa verde, crema mexicana, and queso fresco. That's brand new as well. Their food is so good. Like if you want great Mexican food, go to their food booths. Pan de elote, traditional Mexican cornbread topped with chocolate sauce and queso fresco. I got to get that. That sounds interesting. Cornbread with chocolate and cheese? What? Okay. Beverages. Oh, their whole menu's new. Mango sunrise margarita. Dos hombres mezcal, centinela tequila, mango puree. Or sorry, mango puree, mango puree. This gets hard to read as I get winded. And black currant liquor or Syrah with a chili lime salt rim. Poblano margarita is tequila blanco, abasolo corn whiskey, lime juice, and I think it's Ancho Reyes verde chili poblano liquor with a salt rim, and then they have a Mexican craft beer. China is going to have crispy duck bao bun with oyster sauce. You have Shanghai scallion noodles with shrimp. Ooh, those are both new. I don't really like duck. I do like shrimp. Pan fried chicken dumplings with house made sweet and spicy sauce. Yum. Beverages mango peach bubbly tea. Bubble. Green tea, mango, and peach syrups with white boba. You got Baiju punch, Baiju spirit, lychee syrup, sparkling water, and pina colada mix. Fiery Dream, citrus vodka, triple sec liquor, guava nectar, and spicy hot honey syrup. Orange mango cocktail is gold tequila, vodka, orange juice, and mango syrup. And then you have Brew Hub Lychee, food draft beer. That's from Lakeland. India is going to have potato and pea samosa with coriander lime cream, and then chicken tiki masala with fennel spiced yogurt and naan bread. That sounds good. And then you have beverages, the mango lassi, the United Brewing Taj Mahal Premium Lager, Sula Brut Tropical Sparkling Wine, a mango lassi with Sumarus chai cream liqueur. Refreshment Outpost hosted by Coca-Cola, and this is in like the area that looks like an African area. It's going to have impossible spicy sausage with piri piri peppers and onions and piri piri aola, aioli, curried chicken, and South African boerewors sausage stew with chickpeas and potatoes served in a bread bowl. Chocolate amarula mousse with white chocolate. Beverages, Keel Farms blackberry apricot jam hard cider. That sounds really good. Ashley would probably like that. Habesha cold gold pilsner, and then a Gulfstream Brewing Company Cloud 9 watermelon hibiscus. Moving on to the Alps, you've got a warm raclette Swiss cheese with alpine ham, baby potatoes, cornichons, and baguette. Then you have warm raclette Swiss cheese with baby potatoes, cornichons, and baguette. And then you have dark chocolate fondue with berries, pound cake, and meringues. Beverages, Stiegel Brewery Key Lime Hard Radler, and then a frozen rosé. Moving on to Germany, you have the pasta gratin with ham, onions, and cheese, bratwurst on a pretzel roll with mustard, and an apple strudel with vanilla sauce. Beverages, Von Trapp Brewing Dunkel Lager, Schaffenhofer Lemon Zest Hafenweisen. I got a lemon zest one. That's different. Selbeck Oster Riesling, and then a Weinheisensteifner Westbier. Did I say that right? Sounded right. And then those come with a beer flight in those three. Food, Spanish charcuterie, jamon manchego, and pan con tomate. That's part of the meals. Paella negra, which is squid ink rice with shrimp, bay scallops, and octopus served with garlic aioli. Red sangria for their beverages, and then Quinta del 67 Almanza Garnacha Tintorera. All right. Italy, Italian style nachos, homemade beef ragu, pasta chips, tomato sauce, and dried ricotta cheese. And then you got polpatine Tuscany, beef meatballs, rosemary focaccia, and pomodoro sauce. Then you have a vanilla cheesecake whipped cream, and a fresh strawberry sauce. Bellini Spritz, Prosecco, Moscato, Chianti, Italian red sangria, Italian inspired blood orange margarita, tequila, triple sec, and blood orange liquor in that margarita. And then you have a Peroni Pilsner. Flavors of America. We got some hot dogs here. New York style all beef hot dog with sauerkraut, onion tomato sauce, and spicy mustard in a brioche bun. A Chicago style dog, all beef hot dog with tomato, dill pickle, pickled sport pepper, diced onions, yellow mustard, and Chicago green relish in a poppy seed bun. Carolina style all beef hot dog with chili, coleslaw, and yellow mustard in a brioche bun. You have the Southwest West styled hot dog, all beef hot dog wrapped in bacon with warm pinto beans, tomatoes, jalapenos, avocado crema, and queso fresco in a French roll, and then freshly baked chocolate pudding cake with bourbon caramel. Yum. Brewery Omegang, farm fresh ale conditioned on wildflower honey. And that's one of the drinks. That's a beer. Goose Island Beer Company, Hazy Beer Hug Hazy IP from Chicago, Illinois. That's a beer. Wicked Weed Fest Beer from Asheville, North Carolina. And those all come as a beer flight as well. Then you move on to the funnel cake booth. The funnel cake this year is going to be a tiramisu funnel cake with vanilla ice cream topped with chocolate rum sauce, cream cheese, whipped cream, dusted with cocoa and espresso powder. Japan, Wagyu Tamaki shrimp, handheld sushi with sweet and savory American Wagyu beef, topped with Takana Japanese pickles and spicy mayo sauce. Eel Tamaka sushi is going to handheld sushi with grilled eel, egg crumbles, cucumber and pickled daikon radish, served with eel sauce. And then you have a teriyaki chicken bun, steamed bun filled with minced chicken, vegetables, and a teriyaki sauce. The beverages are Kyoho grape sour, Kyoho black grape cocktail with Japanese vermouth and shochu. And then a Kyoho drink is the Calpico with fragrant, mellow Kyoho black grape flavor. That's non-alcoholic. And then you have a sake, and then Sapporo premium beer. In Greece, you're going to have spanakopita, impossible moussaka, grilled cheese with pistachios and honey. It's not like a grilled cheese sandwich for those wondering. It's actual grilled cheese with pistachio sprinkle on it and then a honey drizzle. It is very good. Very sweet, though. Lamb gyro with shaved lettuce, tomato cucumber relish, and tzatziki on warm flatbread. And then for the beverages, Greek melon limeade, Cleos Mastiha Spirit, Ale Red Melon Aperitif de Provence, and then Pearl Vodka and Lime Sour mix. Another drink is going to be the Milanos Winery. It's a white wine. Then you've got a Zoe Rosé. And then you have a Kiriani Nusa. It's a dry red. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name. And then a wine flight. So you get 3 of those in the wine flight. This is where the names get harder. Tangerine Cafe, which is in Morocco. You get food here that is grilled kebabs with carrot, chickpea salad, and garlic aioli. So you've got chicken and lamb. Then you got a fried falafel pita with tomato cucumber relish and tahini sauce. And then you have a stone-baked Moroccan bread with assorted dips and a pistachio cake with cinnamon pastry cream and the candied walnuts. This menu has not changed, I think, for years. It's still the same, but they did get some new ciders. They always get new ciders. Keel Farms Blackberry Pear Cider, Copper Tail Brewing, Fallen Fruit Tamarind, Mint Hard Cider from Tampa, and then Three Daughters Brewing Fig Cider from St. Petersburg. And then Ashley usually gets the hard cider flight here. They also have a sparkling fig cocktail, a Kleiner figling, fig liqueur, sparkling wine, and cranberry juice. In Belgium, this one doesn't often change either. Beer braised beef served with smoked Gouda mashed potatoes. Very, very good. Belgian waffle with warm chocolate ganache. One of the best. And then Belgian waffle with berry compote and whipped cream. The best. Beverages. Um, they've got a dragon wheat. I don't know what that is. You got a red, sweet, and tart cherry ale. A chilled coffee, non-alcoholic. You've got a another triple ale. I don't know what that is. And then it's a golden triple ale. And then you have a beer flight. So those beers do come as a beer flight. And then you also have the Belgian chilled coffee that you can actually add liquor to. It is a deluxe salted caramel chocolate liqueur that they'll add to that coffee. Brazil is the feijoada, which is black beans with pork belly, Brazil nut pesto, and Ben's original long grain rice. What the heck? That seems so random. It's like capitalized Ben's original, which comes in the orange package you can get at the grocery store. And then you got the Brazilian cheese bread, which a lot of people love. Beverages, you've got a Jingyu black beer and then a frozen caipirinha with chacacha. Chacacha. Okay. Don't know what that is. France. I'm not even gonna try to. I'm gonna just give you the. It's an egg mouille, goat cheese, and caramelized onions. You have an escargot brioche with garlic and parsley cream, braised short ribs and cabernet with roasted potatoes, and then a mango passion creme brulee with fruit compote. And then you have a rosé d'argent, strawberry gin, cranberry juice, and Dole pineapple juice. Ooh, that sounds good. That might be my kind of thing there. Frozen French Cosmo, vodka, Grey Goose, vodka, and then a Grand Marinier and cranberry sauce. And then you have Pinot Noir and a Brut de Pache. Canada, this one's going to stay pretty much the same every year. Cheddar cheese and bacon soup with a pretzel roll. Very good on not so hot days. And then a filet mignon with mushrooms, boursin, garlic, and fine herbs, mashed potatoes with boursin, garlic, and fine herbs butter. And the beverages are going to be a Collective Arts Brewing audio visual lager. Oh, whoa, what the heck? And then a Chateau des Charmes, which is a Cabernet Sauvignon. I don't ever get Canadian ones now. Refreshment port. It's got the poutine, braised beef poutine, French fries with braised beef, garlic, fine herbs, cheese sauce, and then cheese curds and gherkin relish. A Boulevard Beverage Company quick ginger grape fizz hard seltzer. That's a mouthful. Florida Orange Groves Winery sparkling peach. Boyd and Blair pumpkin spice mule. What? Oh, that's going to be popular. Shimmering Sips hosted by Corksicle near the port of entry. Guava cake with whipped cream and coconut. Beverages include berry mimosa, Legioso berry fizz with white cranberry juice, fruited sour beer and sparkling wine cocktail, which is brewing Dream Patch fruited sour with cherry, blueberry, and raspberry and sparkling wine, tropical mimosa with sparkling wine and Minute Maid passion fruit and orange and guava juices, blood orange mimosa, sparkling wine, and blood orange juice, and then a mimosa flight. So all those mimosas come in a flight as well. Swirled Showcase. That's fun. Food, liquid nitrogen, frozen sweet potato mousse with candied pecans, maple caramel sauce. That sounds like fun. That's that first picture that is up on the top of the screen. Frozen apple pie filling, apple cinnamon gelato, apple cider, topped with streusel, and that's non-alcoholic. Food. I guess they infused the food there. What? No, this is weird. Why does it say food and then these are all drinks? That's got something's not right. These are all drinks below here. Floats. They got root beer float. They got a Fanta float. Grape float. Toasted coconut float. Three Daughters toasted coconut porter with salted caramel soft serve. Oh, so that is food. I guess this is food because it's ice cream. This is weird. I don't know. I guess you call floats food. Soft serve, you got vanilla, cinnamon, apple, and salted caramel. So you get ice cream there as well. And then beverages, Three Daughters toasted coconut porter. Ooh, that sounds good. Oh man, how many more we got? Oh, we got some more here. That's a lot. My voice. Hawaii food, slow roasted pork slider with sweet and sour, dull pineapple chutney and spicy mayonnaise. That is one of the most popular ones ever. Hawaiian rice bowl, spam, eggs, eel sauce, spicy mayonnaise, and furikake. And then you've got passion fruit cheesecake with toasted macadamia nuts. Beverages include a mango guava hazy IPA, a sparkling pineapple wine, and Alani Surprise, which is Sunrise is vodka, Dole pineapple juice, and grenadine. Bramble Bites between World Showcase and Imagination. Grilled cider brined pork tenderloin with fennel, apple slaw, and apple cider gastrique. Then you have grilled bison with butternut squash puree, roasted mushrooms, and huckleberry gastrique. And then you have a cast iron Brussels sprouts and root vegetables, dried cranberries, candied pecans, and maple bourbon glaze. And then you have beverages, spiced apple old fashioned inspired cocktail with Boyd and Blair rum, and then a goji Pinot Noir, and then milled and mulled between World Showcase and Imagination, a Borzen fig and balsamic cheesecake with fig jam and pomegranate, pear and almond fragapine bati brisi, and then you have a freshly baked carrot cake with walnuts and cream cheese icing. Beverages, Blake's Hard Cider, Cider Mill Donut Hard Cider. That sounds really good. Copper Tail Brewing, Fallen Fruit Blueberry Pie Hard Cider, and then a Chocolate Shop Chocolate Red Wine. Forest and Field is going to have autumn chili with bison, lamb, and pork belly, root vegetables, jalapeno cornbread, and smoked cheddar and crema fraiche. They have the pumpkin mascarpone ravioli with sage brown butter, pecorino cheese, and hazelnut praline. Burrata with seasonal fall fruit, spiced pecans, apple puree, and fig vinaigrette. Beverages is going to be a Bushvine Pinotage, and then you have a Piper Sonoma Brute and a All Hallows Treat Chocolate Peanut Butter Imperial Stout. And then last but certainly not least is going to be the Earth Eats red wine braised beef short rib and goat cheese polenta, puttanesca sauce, shaved pecorino and petit herbs, lemon poppy seed cake and with lemon icing. Beverages include a fermented Chardonnay and blood orange agua fresca. Wow, that was a lot. That was a lot. Tons of food options, tons that I'm excited for. I think we went through the ones I was very excited for. I just kind of make smaller comments and beside them, but we're going to do reviews of these as we try them throughout Food and Wine. Throw those up on TikTok. We'll do some YouTube videos. I'll be doing some podcasts and reviews of the top items that we've had. We're going to do all sorts of things with Food and Wine. So make sure to follow us on We Met Behind the Castle over on TikTok and Instagram, as well as Facebook, on YouTube, here on the podcast, everywhere that you can possibly find us. We are there. We are going to be sharing all sorts of things from this year's festival. This was 10 things to help you plan Food and Wine. Hopefully that run through of the menu was not as confusing as it was for me sometimes. I try to pronounce them as best I can, but again, it is a wild time. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I can't wait for the festival to start next year. Next week. Goodness. Next year too. But yeah, no, I can't wait for this to start next week, August 29th. That is a Thursday night. A lot of fun stuff happening this time of year around Walt Disney World and the rest of the parks. So follow along with us at We Met Behind the Castle on all platforms. Thank you for watching this video. Thanks for listening to the podcast. We hope to see you guys in the next video and episode, and we hope to see you all in the parks.